Hey guys, welcome to my video. It is Christmas time, and what better way to celebrate Christmas than watching some good old-fashioned Christmas movies? Oh, I just love Christmas movies. They bring us so much joy around the holidays. Some with laughs, some with tears, but all of them are undeniably Christmas. But the question is, with all these Christmas movies that exist today, which one is the best? Which one of these movies is not only a good Christmas movie, but a great movie in general that still maintains that Christmas atmosphere and message? Now, an easy pick would be a movie like The Nativity Story, but unfortunately I haven't seen that movie, so I can't really speak on it. But I used to watch a lot of other movies that I can speak on, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And remember, this isn't going to be an analysis, this is just going to be me expressing my opinions and what I recommend and what I don't recommend. Lastly, if you don't like this, you don't have to agree with it. This is all strictly opinion-based. But without further ado, let's get on and figure out what the best Christmas movie is. First off, we have Die Hard. Die Hard follows John McClane as he... Whoa, stop. Before we go any further with this, I must express, Die Hard is just not a Christmas movie, so I'm not even going to have it on this list. It's not worthy of this list. Next, we have It's a Wonderful Life. This movie centers around George Bailey as he has one of the worst times of his entire life. He wishes he was never born, and an angel comes down from heaven to grant his wish. But once he realizes what life is actually like without him, he takes back the wish and practically lives happily ever after. This movie, while it has a good message, just drags and doesn't really age that well.
Man doesn't get in a situation like this every day.
I'd like to have my robe.
Not in Bedford Falls, anyway.
Need I say more? Next up, we have Miracle on 34th Street. This movie centers around a man who claims to be Santa Claus to the point where it becomes a dispute in court. This movie has a lot of laughs and is pretty heartwarming, and even has a good ending. Next up, we have It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas. This movie is literally just It's a Wonderful Life, but with Muppets. So as you'd expect, it's gonna be slower paced, but it does have some laughs.
Take your chocolates too! On second thought, I'll take these.
Next up, we got National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This movie is about Clark Griswold, who wants to have a peaceful Christmas with his family, but unfortunately gets chaotic when his relatives arrive. This movie, while being charming, is sadly stuck in the 80s and is honestly not that funny. It's very similar to another movie on the list, which we're going to get to right now. Next up, we have Daddy's Home 2. This movie centers around Brad and Dusty, who are connected to children through marriages. Brad is a stepdad to Dusty's children, plus a kid he had, and Dusty is a stepdad to another child. They decide they want to have a Christmas together instead of splitting apart, which is what they usually did in the past. But then, Dusty's estranged dad comes along with the goal to ruin the festive occasion. This movie, while being similar in concept to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, in my opinion, is leagues better. The reason for this is because it's practically timeless and, in my opinion, a whole lot funnier. Then again, it's nowhere near the greatest Christmas movie, so let's keep going. Next up, we have The Grinch, both the cartoon and the remake. These movies centered around a grump named the Grinch as he tries to ruin the Christmas of his neighbors by stealing all their gifts. His neighbors are the Who's and celebrate Christmas religiously, and he's tired of it, so he goes through the whole city and steals everything. But once Christmas comes, the Who's don't mourn, they simply just sing. The Grinch gets a change of heart after this and returns all of the presents. These movies are fun, and I'd 100% recommend them, but they aren't quite the best Christmas movie, so let's keep going. Arthur Christmas. It's alright, I'd recommend it, just isn't amazing. Next up, we have The Polar Express. This movie centers around Hero Boy, who has gone through a phase of not believing in Santa like most kids do. But that all changes when the Polar Express comes to bring him to the North Pole, to which he believes in Santa. This movie is not super amazing, but it's got a special place in my heart, so I'd say I'd recommend it, but it's not the best. Next up, we have the Santa Claus movies. In my opinion, this is a step up. These movies center around Scott Calvin, who has to take over for Santa after the old Santa fell off Scott's roof to his death. Well, I'll say the first two are pretty good. The third one is super awkward, but it's kind of charming for that reason. Now it's time to get to the actual best, so let's go. Next up, we got Elf. The movie centers around Buddy the Elf, who learns that he's actually a human and his real dad is in New York, so he goes there to meet him, and as you'd expect, there's a lot of shenanigans. I find this movie incredibly funny and super charming and really heartwarming. It's definitely one of my favorites and I 100% recommend it. If you're gonna not watch a lot of the other ones, definitely watch these ones, including this one. Next up, we have the Home Alone movies, all 2 of them. These movies center around Kevin McAllister as his family accidentally leaves him behind during the holidays and he has to make do on his own. These movies have a great message on appreciation of family during holidays, and despite how annoying the family can be, you truly do love them. These movies are some of my absolute favorite, but they're not quite the best. And we've been asking this question what the best is for this whole video, and now I'm finally gonna answer that question. A Christmas Carol. This movie centers around Ebenezer Scrooge, a grumpy old man who has absolutely no regard for human life. That all changes when his deceased partner Jacob Marley comes back from the dead to warn him of his fate if he doesn't change his ways. After that, 3 spirits, including the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, show him his past and what led to being who he is. But it also shows him how his actions affect the people around him. Ultimately, he learns his lesson and changes his ways. This movie is very heartwarming and I absolutely love it. I may enjoy Home Alone more and even Elf more. This one I'd say is definitely the best Christmas movie out there. If you're wondering which one to watch, because there are many Christmas Carol adaptations out there, personally you can never go wrong with Mickey's Christmas Carol, Disney's Christmas Carol, Muppet Christmas Carol, and 1951 Alistair Sim's Christmas Carol. With all this being said, you are completely free to disagree with me, because this is all my opinion. But in my opinion, this is the best Christmas movie, and all the others you are free to watch. At this time of the year, there are many ways in which we can enjoy Christmas. One of my favorite ways of celebrating is always to watch these movies. But let us not forget the real purpose of Christmas is to celebrate the baby born in a manger, sent down by his father to save us from sin. Now, if you excuse me, there's something I have to do. Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Take me extra, sir.